Good morning, dear children. Today we are moving to a new chapter of history, chapter number 8, Women, Caste and Reform. In this chapter, it explains elaborately about the condition of women, how people are discriminated against based on their caste, education for girls, the non-Brahmin movement, etc. This chapter will make us how things were different 200 years ago. Let's move into the chapter. In today's modern world, girls go to school and study with boys. After growing up, the colleagues and universities take up jobs and after that. Before getting legally married, they have be adulted and can marry anyone they like, irrespective of their caste and community, and widows can remarry too. All women can vote and stand for election, but these rights were not enjoyed by poor peoples as they had little or no access to education. But things were different 200 years ago. At an early stage, most children were married. In some parts of the country, women were forced to practice sati. Women's right to property were also restricted and there was no access to education. According to the caste system, Brahmanas and Kshatriyas were considered as upper class. Others, such as traders and moneylenders, were placed after them. Then came peasants and artisans, such as weavers and potters, referred to Shudras. The lowest rung were those who labored to keep cities and villages clean or worked under upper classes. The upper classes caste consider these groups as untouchables. Working towards change. Debates and discussions about social custom and practices took on a new charter. One important reason was the development of new forms of communication like books, newspaper, magazines, leaflets and pamphlets. All kinds of issues like social, political, economic and religious could be debated and discussed by men and sometimes by women in the new cities. Raja Ram Mohan Roy founded the Brahma Samaja in Calcutta. Ram Mohan Roy felt that changes were necessary in society and unjust practices need to be done away with. He was keen to spread the knowledge of Western education in the country and bring about greater freedom and equality for women. Changing the lives of widows. Ram Mohan Roy began a campaign against the practice of sati. He tried to show through his writings that the practices of widow burning has no sanction in ancient texts. In 1829, sati was banned. Later, reformers adopted the strategy of Ram Mohan Roy to change a practice that seemed harmful and tried to find a verse of sentence in ancient sacred text and supported their point of view. Ishwarachandra Vidyasagar, through ancient texts, suggested that widows could remarry. In 1856, a law was passed permitting widow remarriage. By the second half of the 19th century, the movement of widow remarriage spread to other parts of the country. Swami Dayananda Saraswati founded the Arya Samaj to support widow remarriage. Girls being going to school. Education for girls was necessary to improve their condition. In mid-19th century, the first schools were opened. Many feared that schools would take girls away from home and prevent them from doing their domestic duties. To reach schools, girls had to travel through public spaces. Many people felt that girls should stay away from public spaces. So, most educated women were taught at home by liberal fathers or husbands. In the later part of the century, Arya Samaj established schools from the girls in Punjab and Chodhirao Phulai established schools in Maharashtra. In aristocratic Muslim households, women learned to read a Korean and Arabic taught by women who came to home to teach. The first Urdu novels began to be written from the late 19th century. Women write about women. In early 20th century, Begums of Bhopal played a notable role in promoting education among women. They founded a primary schools for a girl at Aligarh. Begum Rukia Shakhawat Hossain started schools for Muslim girls in Patna and Calcutta. India women Indian women started going to universities by the 1880s where they were trained to be doctors and some became teachers. Pandita, Pandita Ramabhai wrote a book about miserable lives of upper class and Hindu women. Many Hindu nationalists felt that Hindu women were adopting Western ways and that this would corrupt Hindu culture and erode family values. By the end of the 19th century, women wrote books, edited magazines, founded schools and training centers, and set up women's associations. They also formed political groups to push through laws of female suffrage and better health care of education for women. In 20th century, Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose extended their support to demand for greater equality and freedom for women. Caste and social reform. The Prarthana Samaj adhered to the tradition of bhakti that believed in spiritual equality of all castes. The Brahmanas Mandali founded of Bombay in 1840 worked for the abolition of caste. During the course of 19th century, Christian missionaries began set up schools for tribal groups and lower caste children. At the same time, the poor for the villages and small towns, people from low caste began moving to the cities where there was a new demand for labor. Some also went to work in plantations in Assam, Mauritius, Trinidad, and Indonesia. For the poor and the people from low caste, it was an opportunity to get away from the oppressive hold that upper caste landowners exercised over their lives and daily humiliations they suffered. Demands for equality and justice. By the second half of the 19th century, non Brahmin caste began organizing movements against caste discrimination and demanded social equality and justice. The, the Satnami movement was founded by Ghasidas, who worked as the lead leather worker and organized a movement to improve their social status. In eastern Bengal, Haridas Thakur questioned Brahmanical texts in support of the caste system. Srinarayana Guru proclaimed the ideas of unity for his people and he argued against the treating people equality on basis of caste differences. Gulam Giri. Jyotirao Phule was born in 1827 who developed his own ideas about the injustice and caste society. According to him, Brahmanas were Aryans considered as foreigners, came from outside of the subcontinent, and defeated and subjugated those who had lived here from before the coming of Aryans. Phule said that the upper class caste and no rights to their lands and power. He claimed that before Aryans' rule, there existed a golden age when various peasants tilled the land and ruled the Maratha countryside fairly. He proposed that Shudras and Adi Shudras should unite to challenge the caste discrimination. The Satyashodak Samaj, founded by Phule, propagated caste equality. In 1873, Phule wrote a book named Gulam Giri, meaning slavery. 10 years before this, the American Civil War led to end of slavery in America. He decided his book to all the Americans who had fought of free slaves. Phule was concerned about the plight of upper caste women, the miseries of the laborer, and humiliations of the low castes. Who could enter temples? In 1927, Ambedkar started a temple entry movement supported by Mahar caste. Brahmin priests were outraged when the Dalits used water for the temple tank. Ambedkar had led three such movements for temple entry between 1927 and 1935. His aim was to make everyone see the power of caste prejudice within society. The non-Brahmin movement. The non-Brahmin movement started initially by the non-Brahmin caste that had acquired access to education, wealth, and influence. They argued that Brahmanas were heirs of Aryan invaders from the north who has conquered southern lands and the original inhabitants of region, the indigenous Dravidian races. E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar or Periyar joined Congress and left when he found that the lower caste were made to sit a distance from the upper caste. Periyar founded that self-respect movement and argued that untouchables were the true upholders of an original Tamil and Dravidian culture which had been subjugated by Brahmins. Periyar was a critic of Hindu sculptures, especially the Code of Manu, the ancient lawgiver, and the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramayana. According to him, these texts has been used to establish the authority of Brahmanas, who lower caste, and the domination of men over women. These assertions did not go unchallenged, which led to rethinking and some self-criticism among upper caste Hinduism national leaders. But Orthodox Hindu society reacted by founding Santhan Dharma Sabhas and the Bharat Dharma Mahamandal in North and association like Brahma Sabha in Bengal. Here comes to the end of this chapter. The explanation of this chapter will be done on the online session. Thank you, children.